My name is Caleb. I am 14, almost 15 years old. I'm in 9th grade and I'm a YouTuber.
Well, Caleb, how did you get started coming to 242 Students?
So I first started out around 1st grade and we kind of floated between churches for a while. Eventually we landed right here.
And we actually met really when everything went online, right?
Yeah.
And so the pandemic happened March of 2020, and all of a sudden everything was put online. But let's talk about what happened in August of 2020. Would you be willing to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So in August of 2020, I woke up with a headache that would not go away. And my vision was like the worst watercolor you've ever seen.
Wow.
So I went back to bed, pretty much stayed in bed the whole day. When the headache didn't subside and I couldn't keep anything down, they decided to take me to the hospital, get me checked out. So when we got there, they had me do a MRI, and the results came back that I had a brain tumor and I was hemorrhaging. And yeah, that was pretty scary. For the days before my surgery, I was like, crap, am I gonna die? And then I went through what was supposed to be a 2-year plan, or no, a 1-year plan for another regimen of chemo, where instead of taking it all in one day, I would have it taken 5 days for a week. Which thankfully I only, again, ended up retching my stomach out once a week. But after that, it was soon, well, after that, they decided, yeah, we think you qualify for this other treatment that's not as intense in terms of what you feel, but the list of side effects is like 3 pages long.
Oh my goodness.
So, and most of that, like a small portion of them, are things that would get me a straight admission to the hospital.
Wow. And so that happened in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of the craziness.
Right?
Brain cancer.
Yep.
So you got connected really, really in a big way with Rick. And then eventually, now that you're in this new treatment, you're able to come in person, right? And you got connected in real time, real life with your small group.
Right.
And you've been a part of that for a little while now, right?
Yep. A couple of months. I wasn't really extremely consistent with my small group at first because I was still in chemo, so part of it was, are my blood counts okay that I can come? And even if they are, is it the week where I'm going to be like immunocompromised and can't be around anyone that's not my like blood-related family?
But as much as you can, you're here and you're a part of your small group, and you've gotten
Right.
to know more people now that
Yeah.
you've been a part of it for the last
Yeah.
couple months, right? And how's that been, getting to know your small group a little bit more?
Really good. Feel like I've, started to repopulate my friend circle. One of the guys in the small group, his name was Alex, was actually someone in my robotics,
Oh, okay.
on my robotics team in, 5th grade? 6th
Okay.
grade? I don't know.
So you're getting connected to old friends too through it.
Well, one.
One old friend.
He's the only one.
But still, that's cool. So Caleb, your small group, not just your small group, but even your parents' small group stepped up to help you in big ways. And so what did they do for you?
So my parents' small group built us a planter box, like almost like fencing that had a windsail that could go over for shade, because when you're going through chemo, your skin's starts to like burn up
Oh, wow.
if you're in the sun for too long without, even with sunscreen. So they built us that we could be outside and I could have the shade that I need, but that way also my youngest brother, we wouldn't really have to worry as much about him bolting because he has a tendency to do that.
So a nice, like, enclosed area for
Yeah.
your brother, but then also this nice shaded area for
Yeah,
you.
and it's like big enough that we can actually, do stuff there,
Do
not
stuff for your
like trying to work in the small shade of an umbrella.
Wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
And then your small group did something too, right?
Yep. So in fact, one of the kids from my small group actually helped build that. I'm not sure if one of his parents was in the small group that did it, but my small group put together a goodie box. So it had like a fall weekend hat. One of the few candy bars I can actually have, like a case of the drink I use to wake up in place of coffee in the mornings when I would have to get up for chemo, because that was hard because
Yes.
I'd have to get up very early. That way we would be home before dinner time. That way if I wanted food, I could still,
Yeah. Just lots of goodies and treats, right,
Yeah.
for you? Some gift cards and things like that,
yeah.
right?
I think maybe one or two.
Okay.
I don't remember.
It was a,
I don't think I've spent them yet, so.
oh, well, you got some work to do, huh? And so you had some like help, but and your small group now is, there and helping you and really being that consistent through this time.
Yeah.
What would you say is some advice for some people who might have somebody in their small group that is going through something, maybe not to this extent, but they might be going through a hard time? Like, how could they help other people in their small group?
Pray, obviously. Obviously be aware of their feelings. So, like, if it's something where, broken arm or foot or whatever, don't be overly rough with them, obviously, because, they're probably not going to appreciate that. But also kind of be aware of their feelings. Goodie bags / pot, like, bins never hurt.
Never heard anyone either. Okay.
Right.
So just being aware of that and prayer. I love that you said prayer because I know for you, prayer was a huge thing.
Yeah.
That when you were doing that, I know I know that our whole staff, I don't know if you know this, but our whole staff was praying for you.
Yeah.
And continued to do that. But your small group was praying for you.
Yep.
Your parents' small group was praying for you. Like all the, your people were praying. You really
Right.
felt those things, right?
Yeah.
Especially during those hard times. And
Yeah.
so I think we can never underestimate the power of prayer. Is there any Bible verse that you had that like just helped you when you're feeling in the moments lonely and sad, or something you held on to during all these treatments?
Basically, God's promise that hard times will be repaid sevenfold. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Caleb, for sharing your story. I know that the last few years have been incredibly difficult, but we are thankful for you, and I'm so glad that you're part of our community. I'm so glad you have a community that's there, that if you do continue to go through these hard times, that you have people that can surround you and pray for you, just like you were saying. And so thank you so much for being here.
Yep.